Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight there's lots to negotiate about. So will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Manchester United finish the season on a high? Now, as you all know, the Premier League season is resuming on the 17th of June, which is this Wednesday. Of course, our first game is on the 19th of June against Tottenham, which is, of course, next Friday and that. And I am really looking forward to the game. Now, these 9 games remaining in the Premier League and these 92 games to play in all competitions. Now, I think, me personally speaking, that we can finish the season on a high, because before the football season got suspended, we was in a really good vein of form. Don't forget, we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions. So Solskjaer, will be under pressure to keep this good run of form up and that. A good run of form up and that. But yeah, so really looking forward to the game against Tottenham next Friday. Of course, like I updated you on my previous video that I did earlier on today. Obviously, it's been saying from the mainstream media that Tottenham and Manchester United game is under threat. Because the main explanation is because Tottenham recently played Norwich in a friendly, and one of the Norwich players got tested positive for coronavirus, but Tottenham have confirmed that none of their players had close contact with that Norwich player. So the game against Tottenham next Friday should go ahead. It really should. And don't forget, we recently played West Brom in 2 friendlies. We lost the first one by 2 goals to 1, but we did win the second one by 3 goals to 1 and that. And there has been, quite a few practice matches going on. Don't forget, I also mentioned too on my recent video that Jose Mourinho has told people that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is out of his depth as at Manchester United. This is what Jose Mourinho said. Don't forget, before the football season got suspended, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did make an admission saying that a lot needed to be changed at Manchester United when he replaced Jose Mourinho back in December 2018. And Solskjaer, to be fair, has changed quite a few things. Like I said, so far Solskjaer's recommended 5 players into the football club and spent, just over £200 million. Obviously, he has got rid of a lot of the deadwood as well since he got recommended in to the football club. Obviously, I've also seen improvements under Solskjaer as well. Like I said, there's definitely players that have improved under him, especially, the top players. They've really improved under Solskjaer. We've definitely improved as well in the transfer market under him. Like I said, our record against the big six sides this season has been exceptional. We've taken like 17 points against the big six sides this season. But yeah, and I think we're going into the game against Tottenham with a lot of confidence. We are going in that game with a lot of confidence. Solskjaer, is looking to beat Jose Mourinho for the second time as a manager, because he's already overcome Jose Mourinho already. Because we did beat Tottenham earlier on in the season by 2 goals to 1 at Old Trafford. But since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got recommended in as Man United manager, he has beaten Tottenham twice. So next Friday he's looking to beat Tottenham for the third time as a manager. Of course, Jose Mourinho is going to be reuniting with Manchester United. Of course, Jose Mourinho did endure 2.5 years with us. Obviously, he did win the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United. But I've already given you the main explanations why it didn't work out under Jose Mourinho, is because he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with the top players. The board weren't back in the signings that I wanted to recommend in and all of that. And I think, me personally speaking, we recommended Jose Mourinho in too late. We should have got Jose Mourinho in when Alex Ferguson left and that. So there you go. But in regards to Tottenham, I think they made a big mistake by recommending Jose Mourinho win anyway, because he's no longer a manager at the top level. He has got a good pedigree behind him, reflects on the amount of silverware he's won. I think Mourinho's won around 25 major honours so far in his managerial career. But the mistake Tottenham did make was getting rid of Mauricio Pochettino. Pochettino did endure 5.5 years with Tottenham, and analysing the vast majority of Pochettino's tenure, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top four. Pochettino hasn't won out in terms of silverware. That's my only element of concern about him. Pochettino did get Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final last season. I think he also got them a couple of fourth place finishes. Didn't he get them a couple of third place finishes as well? But Tottenham did get rid of him last year. Now, I think it did say as well that Tottenham have taken around a £175 million loan. If I am correct, I still think that Tottenham are paying their stadium off. They have paid around £1 billion for their stadium. And when we do play Tottenham next Friday, it will be our first time at Tottenham's new ground. It's supposed to be an ecstatic stadium, is Tottenham's and that. Obviously, since Tottenham appointed Mourinho in, they have made some signings. Like I said, they got Jedson Fernandez in. They also got Steven Bergwijn in. They did get Giovanni Lo Celso permanently. They got him from Real Betis. There's other players as well that Tottenham have recommended in recent years under Pochettino. A lot of these players are Mauricio Pochettino's. Don't forget last year they got Tanguy Ndombele. They got Ryan Sessegnon. They got Sergio Aurier recently as well, not too long ago. They got Davinson Sanchez quite a few years ago as well. But Tottenham let a couple of players go in January. Don't forget they let Christian Eriksen go to Inter Milan. And they also, let Danny Rose go out on loan to Newcastle. The bad news is, from a Tottenham perspective, that Dele Alli will be missing the game on Friday for them because he's being given a one-game suspension from the FA for them coronavirus offensive social media posts, and Dele Alli had got fined around £50,000 for this. But on the other hand, the good news from a Tottenham perspective is that, they have now got Harry Kane back, because he was injured for a while. I think he sustained a hamstring injury in January. Also, too, they have got Heung-min Son now back at Tottenham and all of that. But I'm really, really looking forward, to the season resuming. And I've already given you the main explanations, why I'm looking forward to the season resuming. Is because I'm really, really looking forward to the Champions League race. I'm very, very convinced that Manchester United can get the top four. As it stands at the moment, we are sitting fifth in the Premier League and we are just 3 points behind Chelsea. And we want qualification for the Champions League for next season because, if we can get Champions League qualification, we'll generate money. It did recently say that Solsjaker will get a 1 million bonus if he can guide us to a top four finish, So yeah, there's quite a few teams in that top four race. Obviously, people are saying if Tottenham don't win on Friday, then their top four ambitions are over. I think Tottenham are trying to get a Europa League place and all of that. Tottenham cannot win anything in terms of silverware this season because they're not in the Champions League. They got knocked out by Leipzig. They're not in the FA Cup. They got knocked out by Norwich and that. And so there you go. I'm also looking forward to the FA Cup. And I'm also looking forward to the Europa League. We are into the last day of the FA Cup. And we are into the last day of the Europa League. And the FA Cup and the Europa League is a chance for us getting some silverware on the board under Solskjaer. And if we could win both of them, or at least one of them, like I've said several times before, it will be a memorable first full season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that. Because, this has been Solskjaer's first full season at Manchester United. I think he has been at the football club around 18 months now as Solskjaer, so he has been here a year and a half. I think he's been permanent Manchester United manager for around 15 months as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and all of that. So there you go. Also, looking forward to seeing Marcus Rashford and Paul Pogba because obviously, Marcus Rashford is now back from his back injury. Like I said, Rashford did sustain that back injury in our 1-0 win against Wolves in the FA Cup third round replay, don't forget. And like I did say to he's been a very, very big miss because overall Rashford's been one of our best players this season. He's overall one of our best players anyway, is Marcus Rashford. So he'll be playing on Friday against Tottenham, I should presume. Also, too, Paul Pogba, he's now back from his ankle injury, is Paul Pogba. And I'm really, really looking forward, to seeing Paul Pogba in action. Of course, I'm very, very excited about the prospects of Paul Pogba playing alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. In the friendlies against West Brom, Paul Pogba played alongside Bruno Fernandes for the first time. And from my own perception, I think, the partnership between Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes will work out. I really, really do, and that. And I definitely think that Bruno Fernandes is key to Paul Pogba's future. If the partnership can work out, then I think Paul Pogba will commit his long-term future in Man United, and he'll end up signing a new long-term contract at the football club. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's got a year left on his Manchester United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. We'll probably extend that 1 year extension. But I haven't really had a perception on Paul Pogba this season because, he has only played 8 times this season for the football club. The last game Paul Pogba did play was our 4-1 win against Newcastle, and the last time he started from the start was back in September. But more or less now, Paul Pogba's future has been resolved. Like Adnan Januzaj said yesterday, who was Paul Pogba's close friend, he said that Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United beyond this season and all of that. So there you go. We do know Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes' positions now. Solsjaker recently said that Paul Pogba, will be deployed as the number 10, and Bruno Fernandes, will be playing as the number 8 and that. Some United fans, have got different perceptions on this. Some United fans think it's the wrong decision. Some United fans, would keep Bruno Fernandes in number 10 because that's his predominant position. That's where he's more effective. And, United fans would also say put Paul Pogba in the number 6 or put Paul Pogba in the number 8 and that. So there you go. But they'll do very, very well. And I think it's the best midfield partnership in the Premier League is Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes has, like I said, enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Like I said, I think at the moment Bruno Fernandes has got 3 goals and 4 assists so far for the football club. We did get Bruno Fernandes in a deal worth around £65 million with add-ons included. We did get Bruno Fernandes in January. I think Bruno Fernandes did sign a 5.5-year deal at Manchester United and that. Don't forget, he won the Premier League Player of the Month in February, reflecting on his good run of performances. I think in every Premier League game he has played so far for Man United, he has been given the man of the match. So that just indicates out how much of an impact he has made. And I did say, didn't I, the signing of Bruno Fernandes has definitely saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Manchester United. It really, really has and that. So definitely, these things that I am really, really looking forward to. There really, really is and that. But I'm very, very convinced, that we can beat Tottenham. It's going to be interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer approaches that game. I think, he's got an idea of what 11 he's going to go with against Tottenham. I think Solskjaer, knows his best 11, to be quite honest with you now. I think he's got an idea as well of what formation he's going to go with Solskjaer. Like I said, Solskjaer has been changing formation persistently this season. He has gone with the 4-2-3-1 a lot. From my own perception, we don't really look expansive with that 4-2-3-1 formation. Obviously, a few times has gone with a 4-3-3. A few times has gone with a 3-4-1-2. I think we look more expansive with 3 at the back. And I think in the games against the likes of Chelsea and Man City, he went with a 5-3-2, did Solskjaer and that. So there you go. And these decisions, that Manchester United have got to make on some players and that, and there's probably decisions that we've got to make ahead of next season. Now, obviously, we've got to make a decision on Angel Gomez's future. Now, I give you the news on Angel Gomez recently, didn't I? This was stemming from The Athletic, and they said, Angel Gomez is close to signing a new contract at Manchester United. Reportedly, there's no agreement that's been reached as yet, though, but we have been in talks for a while of trying to get Angel Gomez a new contract. I think this new contract we've offered him is worth around £25,000 a week. We have put forward quite a few contract offers for Angel Gomez, but obviously, he has turned them down. Obviously, Angel Gomez's current contract does expire at the end of this month. So we've got about 2 weeks to make a decision on his future. I think Angel Gomez at the moment is on around £17,000 a week on his current contract. But we do want Angel Gomez to stay at the club, but maybe Angel Gomez has got strong reservations about getting into the first team. That's probably his reservations, yeah. Angel Gomez broke into the senior squad in 2017. I think he made his senior debut in our 1-0 win against Crystal Palace. And since then, he's only made 10 appearances for the football club, and 6 of those appearances have come this season. Now, there has been clubs that have been interested in Angel Gomez. Obviously, Chelsea have been tracking him, Barcelona winning for him before, and also to Arsenal. Angel Gomez is only at the age of 19. I think has he been in United players since like the age of 8 or the age of 9, but up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with the club. Don't forget Angel Gomez became the youngest player, to represent Man United since Duncan Edwards in the 1950s and that. But Angel Gomez, he's not the only one that's found, game time difficult. There's obviously a few young players that have found game time difficult as well. The likes of Tahith Chong. He's also found game time very, very difficult. James Garner, he's also found game time very, very difficult as well. So we've got to make a decision on Angel Gomez. But yeah, he could end up, signing a new contract at Man United. And if he does sign this new contract, then I think Solsjaker should then give Angel Gomez more chances at the football club. Like I said, Diego Dalot, I said, didn't I, a while ago, we've got to make a decision on his future. Dalot probably will be staying at Man United. There was reports coming out a while ago now saying that Barcelona and PSG were interested in Diego Dalot. But as you all know, with no intentions of selling, Diego Dalot. Don't forget, we did get Diego Dalot in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. We paid around £19 million for him from Porto. He signed a contract with us till 2023. So I think Dalot's been with Man United now around a year and a half, or is it longer? He hasn't played this season only due to his injuries. He's our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka is our first choice right back. We've got to make a decision as well. We've got to make a goalkeeping decision, probably for next season. As I updated you this morning, didn't I, regarding Dean Henderson. Solskjaer's obviously come out and said that Dean Henderson will be England's number 1 and Manchester United's number 1 goalkeeper in the future. I don't know if he meant the foreseeable future or maybe, next season. I don't know. Maybe Dean Henderson, could be our number 1 goalkeeper for next season. So that's another decision, that Manchester United have got to make. I think probably David De Gea will remain our number 1. Well, he will remain our number 1 goalkeeper. Obviously, for the remainder of this season at least. David De Gea has been our number 1 goalkeeper for several years. But obviously, we are allowing Dean Henderson to stay on loan with Sheffield United for the remainder of the season. So we are taking like a £100 million gamble. Got to say though, Dean Henderson's been a revelation on his loan spell with Sheffield United. Well, this has actually been his second season on loan with Sheffield United, and I think he's been Sheffield United's player of the season. Dean Henderson's had quite a few loan spells. Don't forget he had a loan spell at Stockport. Was it Grimsby and Shrewsbury as well? He has got a contract with us until 2022. We won't get rid of him permanently because I think he's got he's the foreseeable future for Man United, and obviously Dean Henderson is a good long-term replacement for David De Gea and all of that. So there you go. Like I said to you as well, we are facing a bit of a dilemma at left back. Of course, I think probably for the remainder of this season, Luke Shaw's probably going to remain our first choice left back, but maybe next season, maybe there's a decision that Solskjaer's got to make. Luke Shaw, has been our first choice left back, now for quite some time, but, Brandon Williams has also done very, very well in the games he has played in this season. So, yeah, there is some decisions that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got to make. In regards to Odion Ighalo, it was good news the other week that, he'd extended his loan at Manchester United until the end of January 2021 and that. But Ighalo's start, may be limited now at Manchester United because obviously, Marcus Rashford is back. So let's just put that into the equation. Let's just put that into the equation and all of that, So that's the latest and all of that anyway. Obviously, on my videos today, I've give you the latest news on the transfers and all of that, haven't I? Obviously, I've been giving you the news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, on my recent videos as well, I give you the latest news on Jack Grealish from Aston Villa, But there you go. By the way, I just want to give you some news on Donny van de Beek from Ajax because I've been talking with you about him on a regular basis, Donny van de Beek. So reportedly, according to recent reports, we are willing to sell Andres Pereira to fund the move for Donny van de Beek. Now, there were stories coming out yesterday, and this had put a lot of Man United fans in meltdown. The Ajax youth coach, Ronald de Boer, he said, Man United may sign Donny van de Beek if, Real Madrid show no interest. So now we are basically, looking to hijack Real Madrid's move for Donny van de Beek. And I think we could be leading the race for the player, reflecting on Real Madrid's finances and all of that. Now, it did say the other week that Ed Woodward wanted to get Donny van de Beek for around £36 million. Of course, Edwin van der Sar, who's the Ajax CEO, he's confirmed Manchester United's interest. And we've obviously, been in negotiations with Edwin van der Sar and all of that, But there's been reports saying, that Donny van de Beek has already agreed to make a move to Real Madrid. So, would you take Donny van de Beek at Manchester United? Do let me know in the comments below. Also, too, earlier on today, I give you the breaking news on Alexis Sanchez. Alexis Sanchez, there's been a hell of a lot of stories in the mainstream media today regarding, Sanchez and that. Solsjaker has got a new plan for Alexis Sanchez. Reportedly now, Sanchez will return to Manchester United after his loan spell with Inter Milan. So Sanchez will be at the football club next season. And reportedly, we are willing to offer him a new role. And this will, of course, be a squad role. So that means, he won't be first choice, Alexis Sanchez and that. Of course, Sanchez is out on loan at Inter Milan at the moment. Of course, he did join Inter Milan last summer on a 10-month loan. Despite the fact that Sanchez is out on loan at Inter Milan, we're still paying the vast majority of his wages. I still believe we're paying him like £300,000 a week, and Inter Milan are paying like the other £100,000 a week, something like that. But I wanted to get rid of Sanchez permanently, because it will free up our wage bill completely and all of that. Sanchez did endure a difficult 18 months with Man United, but there again, Solskjaer did say in January, that Sanchez, could come back, to prove everybody wrong. Sanchez has still got a contract with us until 2022 and all of that. Until 2022 and that. And he was very, very inconsistent for us. He hasn't enjoyed a fantastic time at Inter Milan. I think he's he did dislocate his ankle, wasn't he, out for quite a few months with that. I think Sanchez did play in Inter Milan's draw with Napoli though recently. So let's just put that into the equation. But yeah, Inter Milan did confirm the other week that Sanchez will be staying with them until the end of the season. Inter Milan, though, don't have an option to buy, or they've no obligation to buy Sanchez at the end of the loan and that. So you do know the news on him. And so there you go and that. Like I said to you, though, it's going to be interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer approaches the summer transfer window. And honestly to God, I think we can enjoy the perfect summer transfer window. Like I've mentioned on my recent videos, us and Chelsea are looking to make transfer moves, to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. And I've got to make an admission, Chelsea have done really, really good business so far. They really, really have. Obviously, they got Hakim Ziyech in February for around 37 or 38 million. They're on the verge of getting Timo Werner. That's going to be Chelsea's second signing of the summer and Frank Lampard's second signing as Chelsea manager. They're still trying to get Kai Havertz, Ben Chilwell. He's their number one priority target and all of that. So, like I said to the vast majority of our top six rivals are probably not going to be in the summer transfer market. Probably Liverpool aren't going to be in it. Maybe Arsenal aren't going to be in it. Because obviously, Arsenal's doesn't really spend any money. Kroenke. Tottenham, they're probably not going to be in it because Daniel Levy doesn't like to spend loads of money. Manchester City, they're probably not going to be in it as well. So now, Manchester United do need to take advantage of this. Solskjaer, said, already that he wants to make around 3 major signings or 4 major signings in the summer transfer window. Because he believes we need this many signings, to be back to where we want to be. And, for us to be title contenders next season. This has been the 7th season now. We have failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. So that just indicates how inconsistent we have been in the last 7 years or so. And obviously, we haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season and all of that. But in the last 7 years anyway, we have been playing catch-up. In the last 7 years, we've been playing catch-up. We've obviously, had different managers with different philosophies. We have spent close to the £1 billion range on players. We've recruited over 30-odd players in since the Alex Ferguson era. We have done. Obviously, under David Moyes, he brought, Marion Fellaini and Juan Mata to the football club. Moyes only managed to bring 2 players in. Obviously, Fellaini's no longer here now, though, but Mata's still at Manchester United. Louis van Gaal, he brought around... I think Louis van Gaal bought around 15 or 16 players. He brought the likes of Angel Di Maria in, Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Memphis Depay, Falcao, Rojo, Damian, Martial Shaw, who of course is still here, that's who Louis van Gaal brought in. He also brought Sergio Romero in, who of course is still at the football club. Louis van Gaal, did bring quite a lot of players in. He really, really did in that. Jose Mourinho, he recommended a lot of players into the football club. He recommended 11 players into the football club, did Jose Mourinho. And there's only a few players that have left who Jose Mourinho brought in. So let's just put into the equation, Solskjaer's inheriting the vast majority of Jose Mourinho's players. But he's made a lot of Jose Mourinho's players, look much better and all of that. So let's just, put that into the equation. But I wanted to be back being competitive, Like I said, we haven't dominated English football since the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, Alex Ferguson endured 27 years at Manchester United. Well, I think it was either 26 or 27. It was one of them. Obviously, won a total of 38 major honours. Developed a lot of young players as well, did Ferguson. And we was always competitive in the transfer markets and all of that under Ferguson. I think, the lowest we finished under Ferguson was 3rd. So that just indicates how dominant we was under Alex Ferguson. But there again, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. So I've put that into the equation, haven't I? It does take some managers time to settle in. Solskjaer won't replicate Ferguson's legacy, but no manager will replicate Ferguson's legacy, and no one will last as long, as Alex Ferguson did in that. But there you go. But like I've said to Solskjaer does deserve more time at Manchester United. Does deserve at least another season. And he does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows because it is a transition period. And it has been a transition period for a long time and all of that. But I want things to work out under him. And our transfer budget recently got revealed. Don't forget, Solskjaer's going to get around £269 million to spend in the summer transfer window. 269 million, that should be enough for us, to get the right calibre players into the football club. Of course, Solskjaer, is going to get rid of players in the summer transfer window. So we are going to generate more money in that aspect. We are going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window. I think we're going to get rid of Jones. We'll look to get rid of Smalling and Rojo on permanent transfers. We'll look to get rid of Lingard. We'll look to, get rid of Andres Pereira and all of that. So definitely players are going to leave Manchester United in the summer transfer window and all of that. And our priority targets. One of our priority targets is Jadon Sancho. Another one of our priority targets is Jack Grealish and that. Don't forget we was in for Jude Bellingham for quite some time, but Jude Bellingham now to Manchester United is off because Christian Falk, the German football expert, recently confirmed that Jude Bellingham has decided to join Borussia Dortmund instead of Manchester United. So I'd say now Jude Bellingham is out of the equation and all of that. So there you go. But £269 million should be enough, like I said. And obviously, our net debt is 429 million, or just over 429 million pounds, because quite a few weeks ago our debt had risen up by almost 130 million pounds, and that, and all of that. Ed Woodward did say the other month that we will remain competitive in the summer transfer market, but he did say that we may not, or we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So he basically ruled out big transfers to Manchester United and all of that. But like I said, a lot of Manchester United fans, including me, have been very, very critical of Solskjaer this season. We're being very, very critical of him. But, not all of the blame stems from him anyway. For several years we've been critical of Ed Woodward. And, we've also been very, very critical of the Glazers and all of that. So, there you go. So, can Solskjaer Manchester United finish the season on a high? By the way, like I mentioned earlier on today as well, Solskjaer's looking at another treble. And that's obviously, the FA Cup, the Europa League, and the top four finish. That's obviously, three things there. Obviously, we did win the treble in 1999, which was over 20 years ago now, and that was the treble winning season was Solskjaer's most iconic moment as a player, and obviously, is one of the club's greatest achievements. So there you go. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.